Okay, everybody out there in the world right now making dating content telling you to focus on yourself and self improve. A lot of you guys are in for a rude awakening because you're not seeing this from the big picture. Is self improvement okay? Sure, but there's a few issues with this. So I titled this video today, The Three Problems with Self Improvement in Order to Attract Women. Okay, there's a big issue that most guys can't see, okay? Because these issues that I'm about to show you, these are happening subconsciously, which means that these thoughts just happen. It's not like anybody's consciously thinking about them. It just comes to top of mind awareness. Okay, so keep that in mind. The big issue, okay, when it comes to self improvement is that you had to add something to you. Okay, now before we dive in, it's the holiday season, so I made you a gift. It's in my description. You can go and grab that gift. It's amazing. You can basically call me Santa Claus, and I'm sure that you'll thank me later. Okay? The big issue here with self improvement is that you had to add something. Okay? Keep that in mind. So, what does that mean? That means that your genetics, who you are as a man, you didn't have it by default. Okay? Anything that you had to add to yourself, you didn't have that by default with your just baseline genetics of who you are. So women can see this. So what will naturally happen, okay, is she sees the effort and work that it took, and a lot of times it seems unnatural. Okay, this is very bad. It seems unnatural. So what happens here is on a primal level, okay, or on like a biology level, something looks off, or something seems off, or something feels off. Okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, the gym bro issue. If you go to the gym a lot, you're like one of the gym bros. Here's the biggest gym bro issue. Okay. Guys who just keep like getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. All of a sudden they're 250 pounds, 270 pounds. They're just bigger and bigger and bigger. What they think is that more muscle equals more strength, and more strength makes it look like they can protect more. But this is the problem, is that it just seems unnatural. It seems like he had to add something. It's not natural. And a lot of times, since it does not go in alignment with a guy's like baseline genetics of who he is, a woman can obviously see that like guys don't just look that way. Okay, so you got to remember this when it comes to like barbells and dumbbells in the gym. This is something that's probably new, right, over the past couple hundred years. 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, did humans have, incline bench press and lat pull down machines? Absolutely not. So women can see that something is off, okay? I'm not saying neglect your health or your fitness, but what I am telling you is you have to look at this for what it is. And anytime you have to add something, women see that a lot of dedication and work went into that, which a lot of times can turn them off in certain areas, and I'm going to show you. So what are the three biggest problems with this issue? So this is the issue. The issue is that you had to add something. Now I'm going to show you all the problems that are associated with it. So problem number one is effort. Okay? Effort implies struggle, okay? So what that means is struggle implies that you're not pre-selected. She's going to see a guy and she thinks if he was pre-selected, he wouldn't have to try or give any effort. He would just be existing and naturally attracting women. So struggle implies that you're not pre-selected. Any effort implies that life was hard for you at one point. So it's like, okay, life was hard for you. You were in this situation. You had to grow into this. Why did you have to grow into this? What happened in your past? Okay, it implies that life was hard for you. That is not the energy or the attitude that women want to be around. When women are around a guy, they want him to seem as effortless as possible and everything is carefree and easy. So this is the attitude right here that actually creates arousal. I'm going to show you. The attitude that creates arousal is a guy who just vibes, okay? He's carefree, loves life, okay? And there's not really a care in the world. Like what it seems like is it has to seem like life has just appeared that it's very easy for you. Life is easy for you. It appears that things are mostly effortless and you just get results in life and you're well liked socially by default. This right here is how it should come across if you want to maximize your results with women in your dating life. So with that said, let me give you an example. Guys who lead their dating life or their dating conversations with like self-improvement or any conversation about like heavy energy, things that imply struggle or things that were hard, you're going to just watch her entire desire go down lower and lower and lower through the whole conversation because it requires thought, energy, and effort. That's naturally going to turn her off. Okay? I don't make the rules here. I just observe how things go. That's what you're going to notice. So the whole time, the whole conversation is basically just carefree energy of you vibing. There doesn't even necessarily need to be a lot of context about anything regarding like facts. Okay, if you just hang out and observe things, you're going to notice that that type of energy works best. So that's problem number one, okay, is the effort implies struggle. Now, once she sees this, you're going to open yourself up to a deeper level problem. So problem number two, okay, she starts testing for deeper level pain or deeper level insecurity. Let me give you an example. The subconscious questions that come to her mind is like, well, why do you feel the need to improve? Okay? Why are you feeling not good enough as is? Okay? My last boyfriend made 52 grand a year, and he was more confident than you making $5 million a year. Why do you need so much money? Why do you need so much muscle? Why do you need all these things? These are the subconscious questions that come into play. So what happens here when she starts testing for deeper level pain or deeper level insecurity is they want answers. They want answers to questions, okay? They also question, okay, if your past was very difficult. And on top of that, they leave eventually a lot of times. And then what happens is they end up with a guy who seems a lot less qualified than you were on paper. And then you sit there with a question mark and you say, well, why? This is why, okay? Problem number three, okay? Two women, conversations or things about you. Okay, so let me give you an example. Two women, things like dedication, you being very disciplined in your personal life, okay? You spending time on you to improve. To women, this is going to be very boring. A man in a routine is extremely boring because a man in a routine is extremely predictable. Okay? When you're predictable, this decreases attraction and arousal because those two things are only built through mystery and her wondering what you're up to. Okay? That back and forth mystery creates some kind of drama, and now she wants to see you more. So things that create routine for you as a man, it will get you ahead in life, but a lot of times these things turn women off. Okay? So things that make you attractive externally, okay, or on the outside, typically make him boring and routine on the inside internally with who he is. Okay? So keep that in mind. Things that make you attractive externally or on the outside typically make him boring and routine on the inside. So women hate to see a man in a routine. They hate to see a guy in a routine. They think it's boring. It turns them off. And then they wonder what a different guy is up to who probably is not texting her back. So like me personally, this is one of the rules that I try to live by in my dating life. Like me personally, I don't really try to hang out with a woman for more than 2 hours at once. What I have noticed is that anything more than 2 hours, okay, your time starts to become less valuable. And on top of that, she starts to learn more and more about you, which makes you seem less seductive because now there's less mystery. So this right here is my process. Anything more than 2 hours, I don't think is productive to a good dating life when it comes to how long a date should be or how long you should spend time with her when you're seeing her. So in conclusion, here's what I'm getting at. Okay, having a look with your physique that seems lean and it looks natural, that is typically better for your dating life than being bulky or a bodybuilder, right? Because it just looks more natural. It looks more effortless. It looks like how things should be when it comes to, just how humans are on a primal level. Okay, $200K a year with an enjoyable life, okay, where you have free time, is better than $5 million a year where you're sitting there very boring and routine to keep that money coming in. Okay, a well-rounded social circle is typically far better than you showing that you're disciplined and you don't really hang out with very many people. Okay, if you want a good dating life, this is how you do it. Now, what I can tell you is women are obviously very social typically. So they like to be social, which means they like to see that you are connected. So what that means is they're looking at your social status, okay, and how other people like you or how many other people like you or how people respond to you. And typically, guys who are boring or guys who are routine, their social lives typically tend to go down, which makes it harder for them to date. Okay, so this right here is the 3 problems with self-improvement in order to attract women. And this is something that I don't think a lot of guys are telling you, especially guys who make content, constantly telling you to self-improve and work so much. There is definitely some external attraction you're going to notice, but there's also a lot of things internally you have to watch out for. So hit the like button. Be sure to grab the gift that I made for you this holiday season down in the description. We'll see you in the next one.